Okay, quick test. Okay, audio's working. Good. So if you're wondering what game's running in the background, it is Assassin's Creed Origin. In this game, instead of fighting people normally, you're throwing Cappy at them to take control of them. You just can't really see it over this lovely box art. Seriously though, welcome to the stream. For some reason there's already a couple people on Twitch, so if you people are still there, then welcome to the stream. Hope you're all having a good day. Sony starts in just over 10 minutes. I had a quick nap. I needed a nap because I was starting to feel a bit sluggish. Thankfully I didn't sleep through the alarm. I was kind of worried that was going to happen. In fact, I set like 3 separate alarms separated by 5 minutes apart. Like, you know how alarm things have like a snooze function that kind of helps you wake up, but I generally don't use that because I don't know how to. Like when I'm half asleep, I generally don't hit the snooze button, so it doesn't really matter to me. So apparently that was The Last of Us. I thought that was Tomb Raider because it almost looked like it just looking at what was going on. Now to listen to a bunch of people sitting at a desk talking about fuck all for the next 10 minutes.
That was a new look at
The
Last of Us Part 2. We're here live in Los Angeles at the PlayStation
this
E3
isn't
showcase. We're taking a quick intermission while folks move
is this the Twitch
next
channel?
part of the experience. We'll have a little bit more to share on that later. And I am joined by my good friend Ryan Clements.
Hello, Mr. Schumann.
Yeah, this is the Twitch channel.
Good.
Okay.
It's such a pleasure to be here at the PlayStation
I'm kind of surprised that they don't have like
and
those guys just like sitting at the table where they're like talking to each other. I mean, this is not that much different, but it's not the same people.
To have for
This is
joining
Sony's
us
own thing.
Studios. Then the chairman of Worldwide
But this
Studios,
is
Mr.
technically the
Sean
pre-show. This still isn't a conference.
Yeah,
the conference starts in about
just
10
on
minutes.
stage. How did you
Also,
get up here
welcome
so
to the
fast?
We
stream
created this
days.
pneumatic tube that I was dropped into and shot right
Excuse
across
me.
to the studio here.
Right over here. Well, it's
Yes.
good to have you here.
Well, it's great to be here, and I think that
Turn
was
that
a very,
off. No buffering occurring. That's good.
powerful start for our E3 program for this year.
That's right, and there's much more to come, but I do want to zero in on The Last of Us Part 2 here just for a moment. You know, as chairman of Worldwide Studios, you work very closely with Naughty Dog. These guys need no introduction.
Indeed.
And I'm curious, from your perspective,
People are
where is
actually
their
moving
head at
rooms.
when
What do
it
you mean
comes
by
to
that?
developing this game?
Where's their head at? I mean, they are everywhere. They're looking at what can do in the next iteration of the Last of Us series.
See, I'm not sure if Twitch
And I
is
think what we
broken
saw
or something,
tonight,
but it
I mean,
says that I'm
piece
getting
of-
3
of-
other
of
viewers.
content
So
was so impactful.
I think
the
Twitch
whole
is
relationship
broken,
between Ellie
maybe.
and Dina going into the combat
Apparently
sequence
YouTube was
really
broken
shows
earlier,
that,
which is
they're
why
pulling
so
all
many
the
people were
stops
watching
from
on
Naughty Dog, and
Twitch
they're gonna have a very
and nobody
broad
was
and
watching on
ranging game that's not
YouTube.
gonna make you only-
Because I had like
only
6
work at it
people
as a
watching
player,
on
but you're
Twitch,
gonna
which
have to
never
just think
happens
as a
to me.
person what you're
Like
coming up
sometimes
against.
I'll
I
have
can't
1 or
wait
2
to see
people
more
on
of
Twitch
that. That
just
was
because
first
they
gameplay
prefer
we
the
saw there of The
platform,
Last of
but
Us Part 2,
most people that watch
looking
my streams watch it
obviously
on
incredible.
YouTube.
And speaking of incredible,
But
I
there
mean,
was like
Worldwide
0 people
Studios
watching
lately,
when I
I mean,
was
it's just
streaming the
been
Ubisoft
unbelievable.
conference.
Horizon, you had God of War, which needs no introduction, and Detroit Become Human. I mean, what is the secret, and what are you doing over there at Worldwide Studios? What's going on there?
The rule number one
So
is
I
do
don't
no
know what
harm,
to expect
right?
of this Sony conference. I would like
A lot of ways, my job
to
is just to move the
see
boulders out of the
Final
road
Fantasy
to
VII
make sure that
remake, but
creative
I'm
talent can get
not
where they need to
really
go,
holding
you know,
out on
provide
that. It
backup,
looks like we're
provide
going to
scope,
be waiting
you know,
another
provide
year for that.
Generalized, you know,
Because that
advice
game,
about where we can take this as a,
pretty much
as
like
an
Final
industry
Fantasy 15
and as
is in a bit of
as
development
gaming
hell
culture.
right now, and I don't think
honestly,
they're
we've
ready
got
to show
13
that.
studios worldwide.
Especially since they want to
We try
get
give them
Kingdom
as much
Hearts 3
creative
out the
control
door,
as
even though that
possible.
technically
It just
won't
helps
be
support them
coming
through
out
their
at the end of
vision.
this
That's
year.
kind of what we've been trying to do here for
So,
the last dozen years or so.
Yeah,
Worldwide
not
Studios.
got high hopes
I
for
think
Final
right now,
Fantasy
certainly
VII.
the PS4
It would be
era,
nice
you're
to
seeing a
see
lot of that
something new
coming
of it,
into,
but
coming into
it's
play right now.
even if they
That's
did
great
show
to hear that.
something,
And,
it probably
I
won't be
mean,
coming
speaking
out.
about making fans happy,
It
I
won't
mean,
be coming out
I
anytime
think there's a
soon. I
question
don't
that
think
I've
it's
been
coming
getting
out
a
next
whole
year.
lot, and it has to do with God of
Probably
War.
2020 would be when we would see that.
Sold extremely well.
At
It had
the
a huge
earliest.
legion of fans, and one of the things I wanted to mention was, you know, I get a lot of tweets about New Game Plus. You
Right.
know, is this something that you and Santa
Apparently
Monica
people have
Studio
been getting
are
flagged for the
evaluating
YouTube conference.
You
Are
know,
you
it's crazy.
serious?
with the
Hang on a
advent of
minute.
social media, we get a lot of real-time feedback from the fans and the community, and we listen
I
to that. And
should
God knows my
check
Twitter
my
feed is
channel.
filled up with a lot of stuff that we could talk about here or not talk about at all. But it's all important. We take it all
Apparently,
seriously.
I
And
am
New Game Plus
live.
was something that
Wait.
came through really strong and really hard.
Am I live on YouTube? Can somebody check for me if my
YouTube
YouTube channel is live?
More updates on that. We'll put that through the blog, but it's going to happen.
All right.
Definitely.
As someone who miraculously finished God of War with a 2-year-old at home, that makes me very happy. I will somehow find
That's
more
kinda scary,
time.
but okay.
I will find time to He wasn't watching.
Okay, thank God.
I want to confirm that.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Asleep. But yeah, thank you so much, Sean. And it's great to hear that you and the amazing team at Santa Monica Studio are making that happen.
Hey, if we can create functionality and features that allow people to
I
spend
am
more time
right.
in the
Okay,
worlds
that's
we
good.
build, that's
Because
by definition a good
YouTube's
thing.
dashboard is not
Fantastic.
telling
New
me.
Game Plus, that is confirmed. It is coming to God of War.
No,
We'll
you're
have
not.
details on PlayStation
Okay,
Plus
then we'll
shortly.
sum things
We
up.
have a lot more to talk about too.
Yeah, and actually, Sean, I wanted to ask you about that. About a month ago, you did something a little bit out of the
Oh,
ordinary.
come
for
the
our team.
fuck
You
on,
came
you
out and
fucking
talked about the
Ubisoft.
4
Hang on,
main
let me
games
show you
that we'll be
this.
highlighting
Let me
tonight's
show you
PlayStation
this.
Showcase. I was
Also,
wondering what
my
the thought process was there.
Well, every
fucking
year
thing
we
is
try to let the
not
stories
is
we have to tell
misbehaving right
design
now.
the
OBS
experience we're going to
misbehaving.
create. And this year we felt that what we really wanted to do is take people on a journey deep into the content, deep into the 4 big pillar games that we're working on right now, and get them to see a bit more about the story
Why-
we're trying
why
to
the
tell
fuck
and the way it's going to be expressed.
is
and what they gather.
YouTube not
It's
working?
A really
Fuck.
wide range of.
I'm going to have to try fix this now, and I don't know if I can fix it in the next few minutes.
Right now, through Death Stranding and Spider-Man and Ghost.
Did I just lose all ability to stream on YouTube because of Ubisoft?
To have some
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm
new
gonna try to
idea
fix
come out,
this.
or some big surprise come out. Come here and sit with us and walk with us as we get through to see the background stories and deep inside of the games we're working on.
Wonderful. And we do have a lot more coming from those Worldwide Studios games in the showcase later tonight. Do you have any personal games that you're most excited about?
Well, they're all fabulous, and I think the teams are really crushing it right across the board.
Fair enough.
But one thing I would say is there's one of the games that we're having out today that will be playable in 3 months and available in stores, and that's our favorite web slinger,
Of course.
Spider-Man. So we're going to see a lot of that tonight, and I think the folks at home should be happy with what they're going to get.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean.
Sean, thank you so much for dropping by. Always a pleasure to trade notes with the chairman of Worldwide Studios.
It's great to see you guys. I'll head back to the pneumatic tube station then.
All
Yes,
right, please do.
All right.
And
Wear the helmet.
We do have a lot more in store coming up in just a few minutes as the E3 showcase continues. But in the meantime, we also have some other updates for you while we wait during this short intermission. So I say we kick it off with a look at the latest from the world of Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'll be with you guys in just a second. I am trying to figure out if there's a problem with my YouTube channel.
Get immediate access to Back in Black maps in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 only when you pre-order Call of Duty Black Ops 4 from PlayStation Store.
Welcome back. We are having the PlayStation E3 showcase kicking off in just a few more minutes. We're in a short intermission period here, but we've got some good stuff to talk about. And we've got some good friends as well.
Yeah.
Meredith Molinari and Ramon Russell. Welcome.
What's
Hi.
happening?
That's
Good
right.
to have you guys back.
It's good to be back.
here,
Friendly
yeah.
faces right before the showcase.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
So I say we keep this moving here. And when it comes to Call of Duty, we know that a bunch of remastered maps from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are making their way to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 this October on launch day. But what we just learned here is that those maps, those classic maps, are coming to Black Ops 3 as well for those who pre-order Black Ops 4 on PlayStation Store.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. But what if I don't own Call of Duty Black Ops 3?
Well, that's where it gets a little more interesting, my friend.
Oh.
So
like you
tonight,
planned it.
we are actually doing a surprise PlayStation Plus game drop, and that is going to be Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is coming to PlayStation Plus later tonight.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, I am going to fucking tear into Ubisoft for the next couple minutes before this starts. because I just did a little bit of digging and I found out that I have lost all ability to stream on YouTube because they fucking stopped me from doing so. Pieces of fucking shit. Sorry, I don't mean to swear, I don't mean to get upset, but let me show you this real quick because I am fucking pissed off that this has just happened. Okay, so this is why everyone was watching on Twitch and not YouTube. So let me show you this image real quick. Here is... if I can grab the corner of this, because I tend to not. Right, so there's the Square Enix conference, there's the Ubisoft conference. Also, I am dropping frames for some reason. Good, thanks OBS. So, I streamed the Square Enix one, had 0 problems. Then check this out. Like, the first one included copyright content that you might think would raise red flags, but it actually doesn't. It's just because it's got, like, matching content with, like, the video. Like, it's content ID, but it doesn't really affect your channel in any way. It just stops you from monetizing it, which doesn't really affect me anyway. OBS, the fuck? Hold on a minute. Right, okay, I think the channel is back now. I had to turn it off there real quick because OBS was really pissing me off. So, like I was saying, I was streaming Square Enix, then I streamed Ubisoft. First one, generic content ID, it just demonetizes your video. That's fine, I don't mind about that. But then the other one, blocked worldwide, so not only did they flag this, but they have prevented people from watching that. And it gets better because I looked into my account and this is what happened. Let me look for this real quick. I've got the screenshot. Right, here it is. So I looked into my account standings, which tells you what you can and can't do depending on what's been going on. And I've just been hearing that lots of people who were streaming the Ubisoft conference over YouTube have now been, well, not banned from live streaming, but they have been flagged for that content, therefore they cannot live stream right now. So for God knows how long I cannot fucking stream to YouTube, and I don't understand the thought process as to why Ubisoft thought this was okay. Like, what the fuck, Ubisoft? Ubi shit. Anyways, the Sony conference is about to start. I can't stream this on YouTube. If anyone, I mean, it's not like you can fucking hear me. If anyone happens to be on the YouTube page, if anyone... So hang on a second, let me unmute this. I'm going to send a message to people on YouTube if anyone's actually there. If anyone is on YouTube, please go to my Twitch. I cannot stream here right now, and let me get the link. Right, there we go, I've sent a message to people on the YouTube channel. I don't fucking believe this.
Yeah, that was a powerful new look.
Apparently they're going to get it fixed, but I still think this is a shitty thing to happen.
Content for that one, and
yeah, it looks really good. There's a lot of buzz about that Gambit mode coming up, and guess what? If you're at E3, you can play it at our booth.
not too bad.
But
not too bad.
there's barely any time because
Is
we're about to get to the
anyone
showcase.
watching
That's right. We are
on
really seconds away
Twitch
when it
right
comes
now?
down to it from the rest of PlayStation's E3 showcase. Thank you so much for watching. We've got a lot more in store tonight.
It's
but
not just you.
for
Beat 'em
now,
ups, Spawncast, and everyone else has been fucked.
Should we get to it?
Yeah, that fucking sucks. But it's bad enough it happens to YouTubers that have got something of an audience, but what about people who are, like, still trying to get traction, like me? Like, that fucking... I don't want to sound like woe is me, but... I barely get enough people watching as it is, and then this shit happens, and it's like, what's that? You want to get started? Well, never mind, we're going to say fuck you. Anyways, the conference is starting now. I'm not sure what this is. I'm gonna try to forget about it for now, but I just had to rant about that. Oh, is this that From Software game? That samurai one where you die or something? What a weird way to start. I'm just going to type something real quick, so ignore my keyboard strokes. Do you remember last year when Sony opened up with that God of War reboot? And this is how they open up this year's stream. What a weird way to start. Budget cuts. Maybe. I'm going to guess that this is that Sicario, the game where it's like Dark Souls but with a Japanese Edo samurai era theme. Because we saw that at Microsoft's conference a little bit.
Temple's close.
Actually, is this that thing that I mentioned, or is this something entirely different? Can't really tell. So yeah, sorry if I seemed sorry if I went a little bit off. What's the expression? If I went off the edge or something, just a little bit upset about the scenario that's sort of happened with Ubisoft. Thanks, Ubisoft.
Nobu, come.
I'm gonna try not to let it bother me. At least I can stream on Twitch. Like, could you imagine if this kind of shit happened on Twitch as well? People would be pissed. Whatever this is, it looks cool. I'm not sure if this is that Dark Souls game, the Dark Souls-esque samurai game, but it looks neat. The Legend of Tenchi, Breath of the Samurai. I've never played a Tenchi game. I don't think it's Tenchi.
Where are they?
Having said that, it looks very Zelda-esque.
Bastards. Enough!
Like, I'm getting Twilight Princess vibe just looking at the environment. Did he just call his horse Bobo? Boo-boo? I'm not sure if he did. Good. Oh, okay, right, that's fine then. This is Ghost of Shumi. Yeah, I've not heard of this one. It looks good though. You missed it earlier, but Black Ops 3 is on PlayStation Plus. Oh, that's cool. I didn't play Black Ops 3, but I did think about picking it up cheap, so I could just do that instead. If you don't mind reminding me about that at the end of the conference, so I could download that as soon as I'm done.
You're impatient.
Huh.
Where's the monk?
The bastards beat me to him. Now they're torturing him at the temple.
Come on. We need him, Masako. Down. No. Remember Sago Bridge? We strike quietly. Or they kill the monk.
So, how are you guys doing tonight? I had that little nap before I started the stream because I wanted to make sure I was refreshed.
Just get that monk.
Got a can of Monster next to me. Just to keep myself a little bit perked up. I think my anger with Ubisoft is probably enough energy to keep me awake. Like, it's not like I'm tired or anything, I'm just like not that long waking up from a nap. So you naturally get that little bit of grogginess. But I think I'm okay. A couple hours after this conference is done, I'm going to sleep because I want to make sure I'm up for tomorrow's conference with Nintendo.
Please, I do not understand. Uldathwi, chamago tunami, usmi che avensakt, chi obelatno.
I love how that guy didn't even fucking realize anything was happening. Like, he could have held that through that paper-thin door.
We have to move.
And even if he couldn't, the door next to him was open. I know it's like something customary to some parts of Japan, but whenever I see
Stand
those...
aside, Jin. You betrayed my family.
Whenever I see those paper doors, I just think of The Simpsons where Homer just walks through them in a Japanese hotel.
If we fight, Mongols win.
They already won.
You are my friend.
Give me luck.
The new Mortal Kombat's looking good. Do you remember that weird period during the GameCube era where Mortal Kombat had this sort of like different approach where they had like weapons and shit? Like, I think you had like 3 fighting styles. You had 2 kung fu or Japanese fighting art styles. Then you had like 1 fighting style which was basically a melee weapon. I think it was called Armageddon. I think that was one of those 3 games that they released during that period. Like, all 3 games were kind of similar, they were just building on each other. But what was the first one of those 3 called again? I think Armageddon was like the last one of that trilogy of games. That was a weird period for Mortal Kombat. I remember loving those games as well, but they probably haven't held up all that much. Ghost of Tsushima. It looks pretty good. I've not heard of this one. Is that a banana? Yep, that's a banana. Okay. Wait, what was the point in that whole fucking banana rocking out thing? I thought that was like a game.
The oldest house is a shifting place.
Banana Slammer, yep. That was an ideal opportunity for me to play that, but that opportunity's kind of gone by now. So my friends are at E3, at least 3 people live streaming from their phones. A conference that is already being live streamed by one of the biggest companies in the world across every video feed on the internet. So you know people that are actually E3. I think I only know one person that's at E3 this year. I'm getting some Force Unleashed vibes from this because you can like pick shit up and throw it without touching it. They're press though? Right, okay. The friend I know isn't a member of the press. Control. Sony's theme this year is to make sure the audience has no idea what's going on. The audience seems happy about the company logo Remedy. I have no idea what they've made before this. Is this a VR game? Oh, there's a PlayStation. PlayStation! There's the leftover pizza from earlier. So when the time comes for me to upload and post my videos of me doing the conferences tomorrow, I think I will not bother with Ubisoft. For fear of them striking my account again, because I'm not sure what's going on with that shit.
I'm putting you under arrest.
I'll just only put up the Square Enix one. As shit as that was, at least that one won't fucking flag my account. Dead.
Stay back, sir. I've got this. Officer, you need help? What are you doing? Get off. No. Get off of me.
Fresh meat. Oh, is this the last of... Oh shit, it's Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Jesus Christ.
Nice. That was Leon Kennedy, right? For a minute there I thought that was like Last of Us because it looked like another zombie game, but no, this is... Hey Joe, you want to play another zombie game?
If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate.
Whatever it takes to save this city.
Surprised you made it this far.
Need info on my extraction. Survival's your responsibility.
God damn it.
Will you help me?
Of course. It's an impressive display of strength. But we never meant for this to happen.
It's coming. It's coming back.
Nice. When is this coming out? I'm going to guess 2019. Yeah, there you go. That's not that far though. Like, that's actually pretty close to Kingdom Hearts 3. That's going to be a busy month. Which is kind of funny because January's usually like a really dead month for new games. Like new AAA games. Wait, what did that guy say? But yeah, that's a good announcement. Happy to see that and happy to see it coming early next year. Wii Music 2 confirmed.
From Squanch Games and the co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Bathtub Guy, and we're here at E3 to take some looks at this new game I'm going to show you right now. Trover Saves the Universe. Let's give it a look. Oh, whoa, there's some action platforming stuff in this little piece of shit.
Ukulele. It looks like it, yeah, a little bit.
But, you know, that's not about me right now. It's about this game. Whoa, look at that. That's exciting footage I just saw. Oh, I'm playing it right now. Look at me. I'm a cool cucumber over here playing this cool game. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, somebody call 711 because that's the emergency dial number for this in this weird part of the galaxy because this is a sci-fi based thing. Help! He's got electrocuted.
Yeah, I can't fucking help but hear Morty's voice whenever I hear that voice. Oh jeez, Rick, oh jeez. Why do I have to sound exactly the same even though this is a completely different IP? Oh jeez. Oh, come on, Kingdom Hearts again? Oh wait a minute, this is different. Right, okay, at least it's not Frozen.
Yep, you always did like this world.
Still, it's a real shame we don't have a bigger ship.
So, New Kingdom confirmed, Pirates of the Caribbean. If you were to tell me that this particular clip here was from Kingdom Hearts 3, I wouldn't believe you. Like, if it was just that clip without Sora, Donald, and Goofy, then yeah, that wouldn't look anything like it. Yeah, I was a little bit annoyed that Square Enix showed the exact same thing that they were showing at the Xbox conference, so it's nice to see something different this time around.
You back in the organization?
Yes. Surprising, isn't it?
Jack, don't you give this creep the time of day.
Sora, stand down. It's the code. Mustn't strike a pirate aboard ship when said pirate offers to confabulate.
I'm looking for a box.
Get them!
Sora!
I really want to see the claw. I still want to see either Star Wars or like a Marvel themed world in this, but I think that ship has maybe sailed by this point.
And the unversed collected enough screams and sadness from those children.
Yeah, and the whole time they were trashing our company in the process!
You're following her.
Maybe she's one of the 7 pure lights we need.
You want a Zootopia world?
Now, set your heart free.
And at the end, you'll finally realize what destiny has in store for you. In fact, your reward might be right around the corner.
Hey, Axel.
Huh? Hey, liking the look. Cut your hair, too.
Got it memorized. I don't remember if, fuck, what's it called? Wreck-It Ralph? I don't know if Wreck-It Ralph has a kingdom in this game, or if it's just a summon. Because the other trailer showing him as a summon attack. I'm not sure if it's like got a full-on Wreck-It Ralph level in this. Sizzle reel of all the KH games. I still need to finish 358 over 2 days, which to this day I still think is a dumbass name. You think it is a world? Right, okay, that's cool. I love Wreck-It Ralph. Illumination! Illumination! Sorry, that's all I could think of when I fucking saw it. Oh, Death Stranding. Okay. Right, I was hoping to see this. Please show gameplay this time, Kojima. I want to see what the game looks like for real this time. Don't raise more questions than you answer.
Tears. Chiral allergy. So, you have dooms, like me. What's your level?
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
You can see them, right?
Let me crank the volume on this.
Want to come work for me?
There we go.
Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
Well, at least we're getting some in-game footage this time. I just want to know how it plays. Like, how exactly you do combat and shit. I'm not sure if they're going to show that much of the gameplay mechanics. How many times have we seen naked, what's his face? Norman... What's his name again? Norman Reedus, something like that. But how many times have we seen him naked now? Like 3, 4 times? People are going mental at Ubisoft on Twitter right now, and I love it. But okay, it's good to see that they're getting something of a comeuppance. I hope that I can also approach them and they can fix this issue for me, because I am pissed off that this has happened. I guess I'll look into it once I'm done with this. It looks like an open world game. I mean, look at all that down there. Ow. Ow! I fucking hate looking at shit like that. Like, let me pull this toenail right off. The fuck? Okay, who are you? What are you? Give me your hand in
Headed
death.
into town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long.
What a really weird
The
design for an
time
umbrella.
fast-forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sandport Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Beryllium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No, they're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea.
Okay, so how exactly does this baby and this small capsule thing work? All that. Right, I think I understand that. At least it's used to detect the weird anomalies. I know less about this game than before I watched it, yeah. Dead. I didn't know I was playing this game, because that's what would happen to me if I was playing this on an E3 stage. It looks alright. There wasn't a whole lot of, like, actual gameplay, but there was a little bit at the ends. Okay.
You're too late.
Apparently Hideo Kojima has some really interesting fetishes.
Who are you?
I wonder if this game is anywhere close to being complete, because we've heard about this for a couple years now. Like 2.5 years, give or take. You know, this whole time they haven't taken to the stage to, like, give the usual like speech about how Sony is like breaking ground in the industry and all that jazz. They've just been showing game after game after game. See, I don't mind when people go on stage to like talk about shit if it helps with the pacing of the conference, because you don't want to like show too many games too fast. But these game reveals are a bit longer, so I think it kind of balances out. Anyway, this is a Koei Tecmo game of sorts. Not sure what it is. Neo 2. I've never played Neo. Hashtag fuck Konami. Speaking of Jim Sterling, remember that fucking Death Stranding trailer where there was this Jim Sterling-ass guy standing under a bridge? What the fuck was that about? I don't know how that ties into the rest of the game's narrative. What the fuck is with these weird transitions?
The raft is secure, but I can't reach them over radio. Their comms must be down. What's your status?
Metal Gear Survive 2. Oh wait, Spider-Man, right, okay.
Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
It was.
This is the third time we're seeing Spider-Man at E3. A third year in a row. Thankfully the last time because it's coming out this year.
Bad. It's usually worse. Look out! Hold on! You okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party! Just in time for the fireworks! Looks like we made parole, boys! I'm out!
Electro, why is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Got it. I'll go join the party. Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
So I do wonder if this is going to be the Spider-Man 2 that everybody wants. Like, you know how everybody still talks about how great of a game Spider-Man 2 was, and every Spider-Man game since hasn't really lived up to that. It's looking pretty good.
Oh, hi, Rhino!
Hope you like surprise, Spider.
Surprise? What is he talking about?
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years. No biggie.
Electro must be working for someone.
This is too good to be true.
Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business.
Don't let up!
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost up. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
You know, I wouldn't mind streaming Spider-Man 2 at some point. I could probably do that on Dolphin. Maybe find a way to like increase the resolution or something. Because when you go back to Spider-Man 2 now, the graphics are a little bit lower in that game than you would expect, because it's like a big, relatively big open world game for its time. So they had to like compensate graphically for that.
You tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you. Can't stop me. But I'm flattered that you still try. Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Sony actually showing gameplay at a conference. Say what?
Long time no see. We're going to have so much fun.
Sorry, no time to talk.
Whenever I hear someone say long time no see, all I think of is the fucking Sonic franchise. Because that franchise had the tendency to overuse that line, regardless of what game.
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
Keep chasing. Party's almost over.
Electro, stop! How do you like my new suit? Dashing. Where'd you get it? It's an exclusive club.
Remember, he said not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to.
Sorry if I'm not talking too much, I'm kind of like... I guess I'm kind of absorbed with the trailer, actually. It's pretty good.
You?
What they didn't show you... Just a second. What they didn't show you was that Spider-Man faces his greatest villain yet in this game.
Oh, Ellie.
And it is this.
I think they should be terrified of you.
Right, so what is this? Oh, it's just like a sizzle reel of the games. Wait, this can't... I'm assuming that isn't everything, there's got to be more. Right, so I'm assuming someone will come out to the stage now. I don't think that's the end of it. It can't be.
That was the PlayStation E3 showcase. A lot to take in. There was a ton of great
Wait,
Worldwide Studios titles.
what?
We actually got a little more to share here. Coming right up, we're going to have first live gameplay of Marvel Spider-Man right here in just a couple of minutes. We have a new game to announce. We have some other stuff to talk about.
I mean, there was some good stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. It just felt like it was that it kind of thing. Like that was.
Showtime.
Oh my goodness, Ghost of Tsushima looked absolutely incredible.
That was weird.
Was insane.
Is anyone else feeling that when they're looking at that? They're like, wait, is that the end of the conference?
I'm ready. Sucker punch. Thank you.
Meredith.
Oh, Resident Evil 2. Come on, RE2. That looked so good. I know a lot of us fans have been waiting for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to mute that. I don't really care what they think. Just like I guess you guys don't care what I think, but I'm going to talk about what I thought anyway. They had a decent selection of games. The thing was, the conference didn't really have a whole lot to it. Like, they shown some really good announcements in there, but there was like nobody to talk on the stage, which some people would, I guess, prefer that, but I kind of like having people like sort of talking to you about shit, as long as they don't like go too long in the tooth about it. And it like kind of balances out the pacing of the conference. And sometimes you get cool announcements with people like talking on stage, like that For Honor or Quake Champions, where it's like, if you download this week, you get this for free. Like that kind of stuff. There was none of that. It was just game after game after game, which you could argue is good, but it was also kind of getting rid of all the filler stuff. But it was, I'm not sure if that's better or if that's a detriment, because when the thing ended, I just kind of had that feeling of, okay, that's it apparently. Because people were like, there was a stage. You'd thought there would have been someone there to talk about their games, their upcoming stuff. Maybe get someone on stage who's working on a game, talk about their passion project or something. There was none of that, so that was kind of bizarre. Sony saw Nintendo Treehouse and made a dollar store version. Yeah, maybe. So I'll tell you what I liked. I loved the fact that they finally shown off Resident Evil 2. I think that was like a big thing for them. It was pretty fucking good. Like you said, I think they're using the Resident Evil 7 engine, which doesn't surprise me because that game visually looks pretty nice. It's just a question of whether or not we're going to see that on Switch at some point. Like, I think it's PS4 timed exclusive. I don't think it's going to be fully exclusive to the system. But whenever it ends up going multi-plat, I don't know if it will go to Switch or if it's going to be like fucking Resident Evil 4 and it's going to be like the cloud version of it. I don't know. Apparently this is a From Software game. Is this that samurai game that I was mentioning earlier? Sekiro or Sekiro? Let's see, what else did they show? Death Stranding, we finally got to see some gameplay of that. I guess I'll turn this back on and I'll maybe talk a little bit over it. I guess I'll leave this on for a little bit and I'll just sort of talk about my thoughts. So, fuck, what was that other thing that I just said there before I forget? Sometimes I have the memory of a goldfish, I just don't remember stuff past 10 seconds. Oh yeah, Death Stranding. They've finally shown some gameplay, but again, they're raising more questions than they're answering. I think that's how Hideo Kojima works, like he always likes to keep people guessing and wondering what the fuck is going on. But I guess that's why people get so enamored and wrapped into the game worlds when they do shit like that. But it was nice to see some gameplay, even though it was kind of not that much gameplay. Like, it was mostly just that Norman Reedus character just walking around the worlds, and then there was that one part where he stealthed his way through all of those anomaly monster things, those apparitions, whatever those were, using a baby-powered detector. Wait, was that a From Software game?
That's From Software's new title coming to PlayStation VR. Quite a departure, very artistic.
VR game.
A ton about how it actually plays.
Okay then, don't really care about that. Resident Evil 2, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 for me. Kingdom Hearts 3, I am glad they actually showed something different because I loved that they showed something new at the Microsoft conference then the Square Enix thing happened earlier today, and it was like, okay, let's see what else they've got, and it was the exact fucking same thing. And I was like, oh, okay then. Kind of feels like Square Enix shot themselves in the foot a little bit by showing that trailer the day prior, because then they had one less thing to show. Unless you didn't watch the Microsoft conference yesterday, which I guess some people decided not to, but I like watching all the conferences whenever possible. But yeah, today, excuse me, today was something a little bit different. It was Pirates of the Caribbean. It looks pretty good. It's weird seeing like near accurate representations of like the actors from the movies and stuff. I forgot his name. The fucking, what's the name of the main character, or the actor that plays him? Because it looks pretty fucking close to the real life portrayal. But yeah, it's just weird seeing them standing next to like a cartoon Sora and like Donald Duck and Goofy. Oh, here's more Spider-Man. I guess I'll put this back on.
Adam's doing a fantastic job so far. It's been really good.
So first of all, you're actually playing this right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this is the open world. I wonder if this is going to end up surpassing Spider-Man 2 in terms of what the open world has to offer.
So I mean, the big thing is, again, you know, I think that part of the Spider-Man fantasy is to swing around New York City and, you know, to have, you know, not only just a...
Right, well, since that conference was much shorter than expected, I guess I'll leave this on for a little while. We'll see what's up with this.
Opportunity to experience that. So, you know, obviously it's a big narrative-driven experience, but at the same time, part of that superhero fantasy, especially that Spider-Man experience, is living within New York City and seeing that. So, you know, Adam is he's one of our combat pro players because he's a combat designer, and
nice.
Again, he's
just fucking really awesome pull the car door and then just slam it into someone's face.
Obviously, you know, we wanted to have a pick up and play feel, but at the same time have a level of mastery and to really show off the improvisation that we've really been talking about a lot since we announced the game.
I'm digging this, like sticking dudes to walls and to the floor and stuff. That looks really,
yeah,
really satisfying.
I mean,
so I guess it's like what you said. It kind of feels like that they're copying the Treehouse somewhat. It's like a more streamlined version of the Treehouse.
The game home, or I'll be playing one night, and then I'll come in and say, "Wow, guys!"
Not gonna lie though, when Nintendo's thing happens tomorrow and I stream that, I'm probably gonna stream like maybe an hour or two of the Treehouse event, because they might announce a big game in the first couple hours, because they did that last year. Because we had Metroid Prime 4 announced during the actual video presentation, and then I believe the very first thing they shown at the Treehouse event was Metroid Samus Returns, which was a big bombshell announcement also. So yeah, maybe I'll watch a couple hours of that on stream.
Really like hone in on those when you were developing
I mean, I think animation's definitely been one of the
I've got a feeling that Smash Brothers is going to be like a really big focus, not just for the video presentation, but also for the Treehouse. Like, I've got a feeling that it's going to take up a good chunk of their Treehouse schedule. Like, remember when Splatoon for the Wii U was like a brand new thing, and they like shown that every 3 segments or so? It was like every hour or every other hour they shown that. I think Smash Brothers is going to be the same deal. It'll be like, here's a new game, here's a game, here's a game, Smash Brothers, here's another game, here's a game, here's a game, Smash Brothers. It's going to be like that for the whole day. Maybe a little bit more frequently than that.
Really layering on this last year is to have that, it feels like an Insomniac game as much as it does a Spider-Man game.
And I love this traversal, I mean, just the...
Hope you guys don't mind me talking over these guys talking over this.
It looks like a lot of fun just moving around, and that's when you know you've got a great game.
Okay, so...
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed by this conference, but much preferred it over EA. Yeah, Sony's conference, I talked about this with Tev actually, like, after seeing how fucking good the Microsoft conference was, I told, like, Tev said that she was worried that this was going to be shit, and I don't want to go right to saying it was shit, but it was underwhelming, to say the very least. But yeah, I was thinking that myself. It was like, well, if Microsoft really fucking brought their A game, do you think Sony's going to be complacent and be like, nah, we're like the leader industries, we don't need to worry too much. We can just show a couple games, we can show Spider-Man for the 3rd time in a row, it'll be good.
Gadget that you can either attach to piece of geometry.
Like, because there was some good stuff in there, it just didn't feel like there was enough stuff. Like, it felt like Microsoft did more this time around than Sony.
Slam into each other.
That is amazing. This is so
Probably because Microsoft has more to prove right now than Sony does, because like I said, Sony's like in the lead in the industry right now.
Sid's having a religious
It just looks incredible.
Okay, thank you. The team works really, really hard on it. Really, really hard.
Clearly.
And the idea is the focus is kind of a way to, it's a risk reward, like I said.
Well, what the fuck is happening with the visuals on this game?
Kind of, if you fill up the bar a certain way, you can actually pull off a finishing move. So, you know, as you play the game, you can kind of say, well, do I want to maybe heal myself real quick, or
it looks pretty good, this though. It's just funny that this is like the third E3 in a row that they're showing this game. I think Sony has the habit of showing AAA experiences like way before they actually come out. With exception to God of War, like they showed that last year, and it came out like within a year of that, so that was okay. It's just like a lot of other games, they tend to show like way before prime time.
He has access to a lot of different techniques and technologies. How do you balance out his experience with the fact that you don't want to overwhelm
Microsoft did that with Crackdown 3. Yeah, it kind of felt like Crackdown 3 was having some development issues because of how the game supposedly operates, because apparently that game's destruction physics work with the cloud. I'm not quite sure how that works exactly. They haven't really said how that actually works.
But then we layer on things like gadgets, and then the suits and the suit powers.
Crackdown is something I'm going to have to check out. I don't know if I'll stream the first two games, but I do own them. Like, they're sitting on my shelf. So I don't think they're like backwards compatible with Xbox One, but I do have a 360 sitting on the shelf, so I could just use that instead. I've been using that 360 for my Metal Gear Solid HD collection playthrough.
What do you think? I gotta say, this game is
Speaking of, I'll be playing more of that soon. Like, I'll be doing Twin Snakes before I do Metal Gear Solid 3.
And I can just see that so much. I can see that polish though. That's the thing, and that's what comes out in that final few months.
Yeah, this almost looks like Spider-Man 2, but in high definition.
Saw all those games, those first-party games, and they all have a level of polish. And to be in a press conference with the likes of a Naughty Dog, a Sucker Punch, Kojima Productions, just we are very honored to be, and we know there's a certain level of polish.
They are backwards compatible? Oh, that's good. That's convenient. Because I generally have the current generation consoles hooked up. I need to like manually plug in the other consoles.
Have that perfect experience.
Of course.
May I just ask real quickly, you know, as we're starting to wind down here, from a personal perspective, I mean, what's it like for you and for the team to be able to kind of look up at the big screen and see your game after
so what did you guys think of that conference? Did you think that Sony could have done more with that, with what they did there?
It takes a lot for me not to get choked up. Like right now, they're playing the theme song to the game in the background as we're sitting here, and
I'm going to open up a notepad document just so I can type a note out here. Black Ops 3 PS Plus. Right, so after I'm done streaming this, I can review that notepad notes, just to remind myself to do that.
It's just absolutely surreal. I use that word a lot when I describe working.
I do like it's not often they do it, but during E3 season you sometimes find like free game deals, and that's like one of them, so that's pretty cool.
We couldn't be prouder, and the support we've gotten across the board, not only from
Microsoft had quantity and Sony had quality. I mean, you're not wrong. I just feel like that Microsoft also delivered quality as well. Like, not everything they shown was great, but I think they had more quality overall. But Sony did have a pretty, like, it's not that Sony's showing was shit, it was just a very short showing.
Spider-Man was so awesome that it broke my mic, and I have to use
like Resident Evil 2 was easily the best thing they've shown, just because we hadn't seen the remake up to this point. We've only heard about it for like the past year and a half, 2 years. Like, we knew it was a thing, we just didn't see it until now. And it's not that far off, it's like less than a year it'll be out.
I mean, it's on a scale and a scope.
I'm hoping Nintendo's going to knock it out of the park tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that they have a good chance of doing that. Like, they've got Smash Brothers, obviously, that's going to give them massive leverage. But I think they have a couple things that we might not know about. I'm hoping for Super Mario Maker 2. Like, I was going to get a video out before tomorrow about why I think Super Mario Maker 2 is a very likely thing, but
with Spider-Man.
I didn't have the time to finish that, unfortunately. So, assuming Mario Maker 2 actually ends up not happening, I could end up salvaging that video and post it later.
On a few amazing people onto our program as a helicopter goes by to mark this amazing.
Don't forget to click the eye in the corner if you want to learn more about this.
To my left and Nate Fox, gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. It's really good for you.
The guy looks like beat 'em
I'm
ups.
so glad you're able to give us some of your time.
Yeah.
Can I just ask?
The guy on the
we were
left.
Just talking about with the team from Insomniac. What's it like for you as individuals and as developers to be able to kind of
Speaking of beat 'em ups and YouTubers, I am really fucking... I know I was a little bit upset about it earlier and I've kind of calmed down since then, but I'm fucking livid with Ubisoft doing what they did with people who live streamed their shit. Like, what the hell, Ubisoft? Like, what do you have to gain from banning, well not banning, but temporarily stopping people from streaming to YouTube? Like, what the actual fuck?
So it's just that moment where it shows it is just great.
But yeah, that guy kind of looks like beat 'em ups just a little bit.
I think we do have a little bit of footage hanging around here, so let's check it out. If
yeah,
we can
absolutely.
Just hanging around.
Tev sent me a message saying, man, that was fucking awful. Yeah. Like I said, we sort of talked about this the other day, where it was like, oh fuck, if Microsoft's conference is this good, maybe Sony's is not as good. Like, it wasn't, like, I hate going straight to saying it was awful, it wasn't. Underwhelming's probably the most apt description of that conference, but it was still better than Square Enix's, it was still better than EA's. It was weaker than Bethesda's, I feel. Bethesda was probably better than Sony this time around overall. In order of least favourite to most favourite, we've got EA, Square Enix, Sony, Bethesda, and Microsoft. I think Microsoft so far is the best one.
It is an orchestra, you know, like you got to take all these elements and for even
I didn't watch the PC Gamer show for people wondering. I watched a tiny bit of it and then I went to take a nap because I was actually quite tired. I wanted to make sure I had at least a couple hours in before this conference.
You know, we run in strike
This
teams,
looks interesting though, not gonna lie. I forgot about this, like they showed this at the very start. What was it called again? Spirits of Shinsu or something?
I mean, there's that quiet before the storm.
The Switch is worth it, yeah, absolutely. Like, I've got a shit ton of games on the Switch now. Like, I bought a 200 gig micro SD card and I've got like a shit ton of downloads on that system already.
Share a little bit about some of the steps, the great steps that your team.
Like, I just want every game to be on Switch now, just because you've got that duality of playing on the go or playing at home.
Be a producer on our project in Studio.
Speaking of Switch, we've heard countless rumours of it. Oh wait, that guy did realise he was there. He was just sounding the alarm. I thought that guy didn't realise that he was right inside that room. But yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow. Like, we've been hearing rumours about it. We've heard supposed ratings board leaks. We've heard like an eShop data mining thing. Apparently Fortnite might be released on Switch in the next couple days. People are thinking it's going to be announced during Nintendo's presentation tomorrow, and it's going to be an after this presentation announced release, where it's like they talk about Fortnite coming to Switch and they're like, oh by the way, you can download this right now. Like, I think that's what's going to happen. I think the writing's on the wall with that, and if that does happen, I'm going to download that and I'm going to play the fuck out of it. But I would love to play Fortnite in my bed and not have to resort to a smartphone to enjoy it. Rest in peace, eShop servers. Yeah, I think the servers are going to go to shit. Like, every conference I've watched so far that has announced a website address, every website address has fucking DDoSed. So I'm pretty sure the same's going to happen with Nintendo's eShop servers.
It's so great to have you guys here. We do have a few more things to get to, right, Sid?
We do. Thank you so much.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for being a part tonight.
Oh yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima looking mighty impressive, and
should we look at some of that stuff?
We didn't see more of that From Software Samurai game, which Microsoft shown off.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Look at this. So this was.
Yeah, look at all those people just walking by.
This is the period of time when earlier on when we had that intermission, we had to make a little bit
So
of
yeah,
time
let's
for folks to
assume
walk
that
from one
Fortnite
part of
is
the
coming to
experience
Switch
the
and it's
next.
coming tomorrow.
So, you're
I
seeing shots of that right
really,
now.
really hope
Very just
they
special,
implement gyro
intimate,
aiming in much the same
beautiful.
vein as
Yeah,
Splatoon.
gorgeous.
Like, if they did that,
There.
then
Again, I
that
wish
would
we
be
could just
amazing.
open
Like,
the
I'd
doors
still be
for
happy
10 million
even if
people
it
to come
wasn't
here and
there.
just kinda get this all up close and personal.
But
10
let's assume that
million
it's
people.
not there at
I
launch. I hope they add that eventually, much like Doom
The
on
fire
Switch.
marshal may have an issue or two with that, but,
Because I think
it
that
really is
game
something
needs
else, and
gyro
hopefully
aiming.
These clips here give you a little bit of a taste of what was in store here tonight at the PlayStation E3 Showcase.
And Sid, we sneakily got a few more folks in here to join us for our program. Again, I know, and specifically to talk about those little interstitials that we were seeing during.
Regardless, I think I'll end up
it's
playing
my
the
great
Switch
pleasure to
version
introduce
more
the
than the
new molecule.
PS4 version.
Matching outfits.
But I'll still play like the PC version more frequently than the other two, just because it's like on a. I've got a computer that can run it quite well.
So I want to point out, and correct me if I'm wrong, the little interstitials we were seeing.
I'm pretty sure that Fortnite will run at 30 FPS on Switch. I don't think it'll run at 60.
We had no idea what they were going to be shown with the game.
I don't mind too much that it runs at 30, as long as it's a stable 30.
Yeah, the little celeries, and then it's Death Stranding.
No
Very
greater
funny.
wine pairing.
It could end up being where it's like 30 at first, and then they like eventually optimize it enough to get up to 60, much like they did on PS4 and Xbox One.
That'd be great. But yeah, it was really fun because like the thing about Dreams is it's really fast to create these little sort of
Fortnite is talking about E3 on Twitter.
we got the opportunity
Resident Evil
to do
2 is
something
playable
fun for
E3.
the press
That doesn't
conference. It
surprise
just
me that
felt like
RE2 is at
such a
E3
good,
because
yeah,
they said it
sort
was
of
coming out in
musical,
January,
sort of
so
something that
it's
kinda showed off the
6-7 months away
yeah.
until that game comes out.
something.
So it kind of makes sense for them to show like playable builds.
A nice palette cleanser in between each of those, and it kind of kept everybody on their toes. But I actually want to zero in a little bit more on the create mode that you guys are working on, and this is
So yeah, I think I'll hang on this for just a bit longer, just to sort of talk a little bit before, because tomorrow is going to be a big day. It's like if you're a Nintendo fan, tomorrow's a big day for you.
So I think Dreams, you can create anything. Literally, people ask me like, can we make games? Can we make movies? And the answer is always yes. And in fact, tonight we're going to be doing a live music show.
Resident Evil 2 on Switch, but you stream it.
I was about to say, are you going to play music live?
Yep, we are going to play tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up happening.
We're debuting our new band, The Molecules.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and they are literally
perfect.
They will be using the create
Okay, so what is
right
this?
now to perform a 15-minute live gig. I don't think anyone knows about this. Even the people out there in the garden haven't realized yet.
I've got high, like I don't want, like I know people say you shouldn't go into things with high expectations because you'll be disappointed, but I'm actually quite excited for tomorrow's Nintendo press conference. It's not really called a press conference, it's just a term people will use anyway.
It's super easy. Even if you don't think that you're a game creator, even if you've never thought about game designing, if you've played games, you can do this. If you can play a platform game, if you can play our story, then you can do this. You can create your own, you can upload, and then you can share incredible
This is
levels
weird.
in like 10 minutes. We're doing a demo this week at E3 where we create gameplay for a whole level in like 20 minutes, including music. You can compose your own music.
So apparently you can build
gameplay,
game
you can
levels.
animate, you can record
It kind of looks like,
the whole thing on a PlayStation.
concept-wise, it looks like Project Spark. But it looks like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Co-op gameplay.
Multiple controllers, you can jam together.
But it looks like it's got a lot
it's
more
quite
going
fun,
on
'cause
here.
one you can be testing, and then another one can be getting the jump height right, or whatever it is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just love Dreams, and I literally haven't even touched it yet.
Yeah,
but
well,
I am
come
already
over.
madly in love.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I think this game is called Dreams.
The idea really has been like what you're seeing is really this easy nature of just like picking and placing.
There's another
Whereas I think
RE2
one of the
trailer. I'll
things
check that out later then.
Sometimes people get a bit scared of like the idea of the blank canvas, but actually what I love about Dreams is it's just this idea.
So
of
yeah,
just
I
choice.
am
Like,
going
every day people
to
make choices. You put your
I am
clothes
going
on,
to
you might
not
choose where you put
upload
posters
the
in your
Ubisoft
bedroom.
conference to
And Dreams
YouTube
is very
tomorrow.
like
I was
that.
going to
What you're really
upload
doing is, like,
today's
really
conferences
just seeing, like,
tomorrow,
this Instagram effect. You can take
but
a scene
Ubisoft I'm going to have to give a pass right now because I'm kind of worried that they're going to fuck up my account if I do that. I've got a feeling that people tonight, while Vinny is streaming the Sony conference, are going to warn him not to upload the Ubisoft thing to his full source channel because he might get penalised for doing that. Like, he doesn't stream to YouTube anymore, but it might affect his account in terms of his overall standing with YouTube, which he doesn't really want.
That's excellent. So beta coming this year for Dreams.
That's right.
And, you know, I've said this before, I'll say it again about Dreams. In my maybe 20 years of being in the industry, I've never seen anything so
thank you.
just innovative and progressive and just potentially just game-changing. So
thank you.
Hats off
Thank
to
you.
you. I mean, this must have been an absolute
I've only been
labor
streaming
of
for like
love.
an hour. I guess I'll go on for another half an hour or so.
Big cheers to the team.
I just kind of feel like pushing this out a bit longer just because I've got nothing better to do right now with my time. I don't feel like playing a game.
You are moving between these different disciplines, and right now we have a studio
Let's see
that jams together in a way
what
that
else can I
we've
talk
never jammed
about.
together before. We have like musicians.
What do you
actually
guys
just
hope
jamming with
for
animators to actually
Nintendo
create
Direct
animation.
thing tomorrow,
I think that's one
other
of the
than
things we're really starting to see is these different
other than the
workflows.
obvious of Smash
And that
Brothers?
just, you know, that's been
Or
one of
if
the
you want to
things
talk
we
about
really wanna
Smash
get that
Brothers,
right. So can't wait
what
to see, like,
characters
really
or
create
guest
all different
characters
types
would
of
you
genres
want
of
to see,
games, and really
and
almost,
why?
like, just come up with completely new ways of playing. I think
Yeah,
we're
I mean, we're
about to
showing some of that E3. Liam made a text adventure, and we're like, what? You can
See,
do
I have
that?
ideas for
Why
Smash
didn't you
Brothers
do that?
predictions, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow before their conference starts.
And now imagine
Mario
if you
Maker
just, like,
Switch. Yeah, I said that earlier. I want Mario Maker Switch to happen, but not like a port of the original. I want it to be a full-on sequel.
unbelievable. And
Because there's so much they can do to build on the original game.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see more of this.
Stay tuned for more.
Even if it was just a port of the existing one, I'd be happy anyway, just because it would be on a platform that I would rather play it on. But I feel like we're due for a sequel for Mario Maker.
Which was announced during the showcase, and we had some
They
great
still
stuff.
won't
Tetris
include
Effect,
sloped surfaces. Don't say that, because you know it's going to fucking happen if you do.
So let's take a look at the latest from PlayStation VR.
I want to hear about Pokemon, maybe... Let's see, I want to hear about Pokemon, maybe if anything about that Paper Mario, about the trademark Fortnite on Switch. Yeah, I've got a feeling that Pokemon will not be at the main direct press conference thing, but it will be shown during the Treehouse Live. I don't think it will be shown during the thing before that. Oh yeah, I heard they revealed that. Tetris effects. I'm not a massive Tetris person.
I've never seen anything like it before.
So yeah, Pokemon probably won't be at that conference thing, the Direct. We'll just call it Nintendo Direct. It won't be at the Direct itself, but they probably will showcase it at the Treehouse. As for Paper Mario, I think it's too soon for a new Paper Mario, because we just had Color Splash like a couple years ago. Unless they had like a completely different team working on a new one while Color Splash was being finished. I'm not entirely sure if that would be the case. Kind of feels like that all the modern Paper Mario games are being made by the same company, which I believe is Intelligent Systems. I'm not sure if they would want to outsource that to a different company. Skyrim again. Alexa, eat all the cheese. Skyrim jokes aside, it's kind of cool that they finally announced Elder Scrolls 6. Because that pretty much puts the writing on the wall that the era of the many endless Skyrim ports are coming to an end. But I'll tell you this, I'm glad they ported it to Switch before they announced Elder Scrolls 6. I need to play more Skyrim. As cool as VR is, I still don't see it as a big thing. Like, it's not something I'm investing in just yet.
Using 2 moves on VR. One of the most intoxicating experiences I've had in VR. It almost felt like boxing is like the perfect fit for the VR medium, because you got the leaning, you can dodge.
Oh gosh,
I'm gonna
going all
tip
over
here.
God, I was in danger for a second. I have to give a quick shout out to Bathtub Guy. I mean, let's just.
You probably just set off someone's echo.
I hope that 711 gets done really quickly.
711.
Yeah.
Squanch.
And also remember, earlier in the week, Ben Studio gave us another look at Days Gone and their release date.
They did.
February
22nd.
Outstanding. Very good stuff. So let's talk a little bit about the venue we've got here. It takes an army practically to create the kind of experience that we had here tonight for members of the press and community. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And actually, rather than talk about it, let's just show it. We have a great video that shows how it was all put together.
Can't think of much to say right now. But yeah, Paper Mario. I would like to see a new Paper Mario. I just don't think it's in the cards for at least another year. Like, I think Arlo did a video on it a while back, but I think it was Arlo that said this, but I was kind of pissed off at the fact that when they announced Color Splash, like they...
Welcome back to E3
oh fuck, it's these guys again.
That was the Sony press conference, and just even a little bit more. We saw a few extra things there at the very...
Okay, so I guess that was like part of it, but it wasn't really. It was more of like a mini treehouse thing, but whatever. So yeah, the thing about Paper Mario, like, you expect Paper Mario to be like this big AAA, like this much beloved series, and it is. But then Nintendo, when they first announced Color Splash for the first time, they did it in a direct, but it was like they announced it in a very fucking nonchalant way. It was like, okay, in this game, Paper Mario, it was like, they started with like a lame joke, and it was like, okay, Paper Mario, action-adventure game, it's going to be fun, it's going to be silly, it's not going to be this big epic. Coming out later this year, and then they immediately move on to, what was it, Pokemon Tournament or something, Pokken? And I really fucking hated that they kind of brushed off Paper Mario really quickly, like it didn't even matter, because it didn't to them. Because I think they knew that it wasn't the game that people wanted, but they might as well just like advertise it. Like, because Arlo pointed that out, where it was like, yeah, we're going to talk about this, but we're not going to focus too heavily on it because it's not a massive game. And then, okay, let's move on to the next game, which will probably sell more in the long run. But yeah. It really sucks to see Paper Mario kind of falling from grace, but I do believe that there's a free chance that it could make a comeback, especially with Nintendo making changes internally right now, and a lot of things are like changing with how they're developing and approaching games. Like, we're seeing the effects of that already with Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. So I'm thinking that we could end up seeing a really good Paper Mario game in the next couple years. Probably not this year, probably not next year, but we might hear about it sometime next year. At least we have Bug Fables. Yeah, at least we have that. I've still got the 1,000 Year Door to finish. I've still got like 2 or 3 streams of that left. So I'll be doing that soon. I swear to God, if Nintendo announce a fucking 1,000 Year Door remastered, I'm going to be extremely conflicted. Like, I'll be happy, but I'll also be annoyed at the fact that I played the game, the original game, before they announced it. So, what game is this? The Last of Us 2. Yeah, you'd think they would have shown this during the Sony conference, because this is like a Sony exclusive, is it not? So, I'm not going to talk too much more. I'm not going to go too much into what I think will happen at Nintendo's thing tomorrow, because instead, I'm going to save my predictions for tomorrow itself. I'd probably start the stream a bit earlier than 15 minutes at the start, so that I have ample time to talk about my predictions, my hopes, my dreams, everything that will get crushed, probably. and what I think they'll be talking about for Smash. I've got some ideas of what they could do for Smash and what I want to see them do for Smash. It sounds like they're going to focus pretty heavily on Smash for the video presentation, because apparently Sakurai is going to feature in it, so he'll probably be talking a good bit about the features and like what's new this time around. But unfortunately, Yoshi will not be participating because he committed tax fraud. So rip Yoshi, or rip Yoshi fans. They did show it at the beginning, they did, but it was kind of like a pre-show thing that didn't really count, I guess, but they did show it just a bit. Right, well I think I've ran out of things to say. Let's see, how long was this stream, out of curiosity? An hour and 20 minutes near enough. Right, so I guess I'll end the stream here then. I'm not going to play a game, I'm just going to kind of chill for the rest of the night, watch One Piece for a while I guess, because I want to continue watching that. I haven't had the chance to watch much of it today. I've been, like I said, I've been watching a shit ton of that recently. And yeah, probably watch some of that, then I'll go to sleep, and then I'll wake up tomorrow and get things prepped for Nintendo's video presentation, or direct, or whatever they're calling it this year. I think last year it was called a video presentation, this year it's just called the Nintendo Direct. I'm not sure why they keep changing the name of the E3 thing. But yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. Question is, will it be Microsoft good, or will it be better than Sony's but not quite good, as good as Microsoft's? I guess we'll find out tomorrow. It's just Nintendo tomorrow, and it will be at 5 PM UK time, I believe. Let me verify that before I say that is the definitive time. Let me check. Right, so here are the times for Nintendo's. It is 5 PM UK time, BST. It is 12 PM Eastern Coast, EDT. Eastern, is EDT Eastern Standard Time? I'm not sure what that is. And 9 AM Pacific, I think that is, PDT. So reiterating, 5 PM UK, 12 PM Eastern, and 9 PM Pacific. 9 AM Pacific, sorry. Black Ops 3 is on PlayStation Plus. Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. So thank you guys for watching, and thanks for putting up with me being a little bit pissed off at Ubisoft. But yeah, that was... Not going to say that Sony conference was amazing, it was okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Nintendo's. I think Nintendo is going to be really good. I hope it's good. I don't want it to be disappointing. Please don't be disappointing. Please don't disappoint. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and good evening. See you later. Good night.